I don't have time to be doing everything around the house. I can't be everywhere at once. I got to work. I'm on the clock.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to go make this money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of gross. Like, if I had to clean her shit up, I probably wouldn't be into it, but...
I remember whenever...
My wife has chosen the career of homemaker.
That's true. That's a fair point. Yeah.
I remember whenever my dad first started making us help clean stuff like toilets and all that. It was just the most offensive thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to scrub where shit splashes up inside the toilet.
Yeah. Why'd you get married?
It's like, yeah, I'm like, why does that happen? Why does that even exist as a thing in like life, right? In the things that exist.
Yeah. Start
like,
controlling everyone's diet in the house.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be good for me later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit that splashes up into the rim of the toilet that you then have to scrape out with a brush. Yeah. And then whenever you have to go get a paper towel and wipe up the pubic hairs that won't come off any other way.
Yeah.
That when I was like, I had to have been like 9 or 10 when my dad finally made me like clean the toilets, and I just thought it was I was like, this is an outrage that this even exists, that like shit should disappear.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody should have to do this. This is wrong. That this, like, we should live in a virtual reality cyber world where we don't have to deal with
shit. You could tell
shit
that to all of India
up.
and China.
I'm with you.
Donnie, I only have one ear hole.
Okay, it's probably the...
Why is it like this?
I've also been really offended about the realities of life. Like, there's just things that are so...
I mean, that's how I feel about anal. I don't think you're supposed to play with doo-doo.
Well, you're wrong about that.
Yeah, well, gay dudes have a whole thing all day they do. You know, they get your anus is your pussy.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it nice.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. I've never slammed a girl in the butt and had it been gross. I've never like pulled my dick out and just like, oh my God, look at all that shit. It's like the girls that I guess the girls who I've known, the girls who I've been with in that regard, like they knew it was coming, and so they took care of things.
Even then, I'm pretty sure you're still playing Russian roulette.
Oh sure.
Oh
yeah.
There's 6 poops in the chamber. There's only 1 poop in 6 chambers.
I have to. I mean, I will admit that I have never put my penis into a butthole.
Oh, Donnie, you're missing out. It's great. It's
the fucking answer's in there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why you don't believe in God, dude.
The eye.
Dude, you want to become one with like this fucking singularity.
He's
like
been asked to give his testimony this Sunday. What brought you to our Lord and Savior? Well,
yeah.
What had happened was,
see, this is why like I'm still kind of a Catholic. It's like,
that's Catholics use anal for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To not have vag sex, to stay a virgin, to fuck little boys.
Right. It's just part of the Catholic dogma, man. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like I put fingers up butts.
Yeah.
You know, and other things, but not my penis. So
yeah.
But I have plenty of anecdotes from other people who have given me their anecdotes about they pulled it out and then turd.
Oh, there's a turd. Yeah. I had
you know,
it's not good.
Yeah.
I've heard a story or two.
Dude, did you ever read I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell? The Tucker Max book.
Oh no, I haven't read that. I know about that.
So there's this one story. I'm sure that his stories are not true or they're exaggerated or whatever, but there's this one story about how he finally convinced his girlfriend to let him put it in her butt, and they'd planned it out. They'd scheduled it. So he had his friend come hide in the closet with a video camera to videotape the first time he had sex with his girlfriend in the butt. And they did it, and he pulled his dick out, and she just blasted diarrhea all over his his entire lower body.
Oh, that's not good.
And he started throwing up, and then she started throwing up, and then the guy burst out of the closet throwing up.
The worst thing I ever done was I went to the movies.
Yeah, it's very Goonies. God. Yeah.
That's And that's how that dude got into shit and throw up sex. Like,
Yeah,
it was like, he's like coming as that happens. He's like, no, I'm attracted to this.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
This is my thing now.
This is my thing now.
This is my thing now.
Yeah. That's like, that was always the danger when you would like download porn off IRC or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just like put it, you like turn on one of those picture things where it just like flip through the pictures and you're like beating off and it's all like great stuff. And then it's like some horse fucking
Yeah, there's always
chick,
something
and
that
you're
shows
like,
up.
God damn it. I just
Again,
fucking blew
Russian
my,
roulette. Take your chances.
I just blew my load to this horse fucking this chick. I guess
in one of the chambers of this
guess I'm into
revolver,
that
there's a
now.
guy getting fucked to death by a bear.
Yeah.
Spin it and see what happens.
exactly. Oh man.
It was worth it though in the end because you got to watch a blonde titty fuck.
Right. Yeah.
The real titty fuck was the friends we made along the way.
I'm just picturing my neighbor's face right now as he's listening to this. He's gonna be like, and you started off strong.
Yeah.
Minute 2 talking about beating off to porn from
Yeah.
1994.
Yeah.
I don't understand how NAMBLA still exists. I mean,
You
I
don't
think-
understand?
well, in the KKK too. I mean, yes, it's not illegal to have an association of people,
No.
of rad dudes who like chill shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're allowed to gather. That's in the Constitution.
Yeah. The ACLU, there's that famous case.
What if there's a murder club?
Kenosha?
Can you say like we like
Kenosha?
murder?
Yeah,
And we're
I
like
think as
in a-
long as you don't commit murder, I think it's
Yeah.
just kind of the same thing as like the KKK. I mean, they talk all sorts of violent stuff about this and that.
Yeah.
Although I think the KK numbers have dwindled like massively.
Yeah. They are way over reported.
I think they stopped.
I think.
Are they even
organizing.
reported at this point? I don't even know if I
there's
fucking heard about the
there's
KKK in a long ass time.
I would say there are probably at least 5,000 total KKK members.
Is that the
in the United
NAMBLA
States,
logo?
in
There's like a fun kid
existence.
thing in the middle of the two adult parts.
Yeah, so I looked up NAMBLA.
The M and the B are like orange and smaller.
and it's
turned to
man,
the
boy.
side for fun.
Hey, look at this.
Oh wow! Oh yeah,
It looks like a Toys R
the
Us
FedEx
logo.
logo.
just to
Yeah.
make it fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
NAMBLA.
negative space in
Yeah.
between the letters that you want.
Yeah.
It's like, hey kids, come hang out here. Look, it's cool. It's
They
fun.
hired a fucking graphic designer.
Hired a
Somebody
graphic
took money.
designer.
It was
NAMBLA logo.
apparently dissolved in 2006.
Oh.
The group no longer holds regular
Sure it
national
was.
meetings as of the late 1990s to avoid local police infiltration. The organization discouraged the formation of local chapters. In 1995, an undercover detective discovered that there were 1,100 people on the organization's rolls. As of 2005, it was supposedly based in New York and San Francisco, but it says they dissolved 19 years ago.
Somnambulance.
But
This
I mean,
is-
those people don't go away.
No,
I've
no.
told you the story about the youth intern at our
Yeah.
church that actually babysat me and my brother, and we
Yeah.
thought he was cool because he liked Star Wars, but he was molesting children and
Using Star Wars figures.
Yeah, I assumed that was a pretty good end.
Yeah.
My finger goes into the tauntaun.
Well, he had like one specific one. He did a Michael Jackson where he like dated kids.
Yeah.
And he had one specific one that whole time that we didn't know about. But, whenever he got arrested finally, he just didn't show up to court, and he took off to Mexico. And there's an entire underground dark web organization of pedophiles that help other pedophiles.
What?
So they were hooking him up with, like, remote work and money.
I thought the dark web was black
keep
people
it
Twitter.
going.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
good?
yeah,
Maybe.
that's one part of it. That's a dark web.
That is a dark web. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, Silk Road, I'm sure, was used for a lot of that kind of stuff before they shut it down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that stuff is still out there. It's just, I guess it's to the point where you can't have a public organization saying, no, we think it's okay for grown adult men to have sex
NAMBLA
with
still
underage
exists.
boys.
If you believe in your heart, NAMBLA still exists for you.
Yeah.
It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why I don't want to. When anyone puts my name on a list, or when I have to put my name on a list at a fucking stand-up thing, I'm like, I really just don't want my name on a list.
Yeah.
On any list at all. Period. I don't care if it's
Schindler's
this
List.
Yeah, definitely not Schindler's List.
Epstein's List.
Epstein's List.
Yeah.
Like the minute that you're like, I think it's a good idea to put my name on a list for NAMBLA.
Puffy's
it's like,
Freak Party List. You're a registered Democrat. You could be fucked.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Same.
even that.
We're going to go get our colonoscopies, and ICE is
Even
going to
that.
find us there while we're... Chris and I are getting colonoscopies at the same time. We're going to get them to do a double-ended middle-out
Yeah,
conversion.
Middle
Wait, what day is your colonoscopy?
I don't know yet. They're all in July. I have to,
Oh man, are we gonna be there at the same
I'm
time?
kind of looking
That's
forward to
gonna
the
be-
one
that's
thing, and
gonna
then
be-
the next thing is coming.
Right.
So I'm just thinking July 2nd now.
July 2nd.
That's the first one that I'm doing. It's a sonogram.
Oh.
Sonogram of what?
My arteries and heart to see if there's plaque.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
need
I've
a
done that.
toothbrush. I need to brush my arteries with a toothbrush.
You have to brush your arteries.
I don't know. I got to fight plaque somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to figure out a way to get
It's the only way I know. how to fight.
mouthwash into your heart.
Yeah. Right. Figure
Listerine.
yeah.
Some
Palmolive.
heart Listerine.
Yeah.
Palm olive cuts grease. Maybe I should
Yeah.
just shoot palm olive into my heart.
What was the commercial? Palmolive cuts grease like a something. I don't know.
Like a
Whatever.
ninja.
Like a ninja.
Like a fruit ninja.
Did you ever listen to records when you were little? Before there was, did your family go through the whole records, cassettes, CDs?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, I was born into my parents' record collection. They had a huge.
Born into the darkness.
They had a huge record collection. So
Yeah.
like I had like, I mean not huge, but they had a, they had a stereo, and the bottom part of the stereo was also like a record holder thing.
A hi-fi.
And so it was probably like,
Console hi-fi with the wood
Yeah.
grain.
yeah, it was a console. Yes, exactly.
burlap
yeah.
speakers. That's
so,
nice.
So there was probably, I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They had those like I don't know. They're probably 2.5, 3
But
foot
some of them
speakers.
have a cocktail bar in them.
No, we didn't have that.
Did you have your own little record player? My
I did.
first Sony.
I did.
Was it Fisher Price, the white one?
No, I got like no, I didn't have. Oh, maybe now that you're mentioning it, I did have a record player. I think it just played 45s.
Yeah, the Disney ones.
Yeah, when I was little.
We had Christian ones on there that went on their little Disney one, 45s.
Yeah,
And they taught lessons. Little Joey wants to steal. And his friend was like, why don't you go steal something? And then the organs would go do-do-do-do-do. It was all suspenseful. I don't know. I think I should steal. Yeah.
I don't remember records as a child, as like a toddler or anything.
no records at
The
all.
first thing that I remember is cassettes.
You're a little bit younger.
Yeah, so I'm
So you're just
I'm like
that much younger.
I'm
Yeah.
like my memories of that kind of stuff go back to maybe 84. At that point, that was pretty much cassette time. Mid 80s, 84.
Well, you were
85.
born in 84.
I was born in 82.
Oh, 82.
But
you
I
can
don't
remember 84?
Yeah, I can remember things from when I was 2 or 3.
Wow.
Can you remember before you were born? Is there a God?
God, I wish. It'd be
The
some type
ethereal
of
plane.
answer other than nope. There's blackness. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
You were on the dark web.
Yeah.
when you were born.
So I never knew how to play a record, and then I remember finding up in a closet my parents' 8-tracks from
Oh,
the
yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
and it was like stuff where like, what the fuck is the Lovin' Spoonful?
Trucker smut stories
It was
for
like-
the road.
Yeah, and I'm sure they had some Carpenters. You know, everybody's parents had Carpenters records.
Carpenters
Oh,
rule.
yeah.
They got slide guitar and Hammond organ, and that girl's beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Did
A lot of
I
good stuff going on?
Did I tell you one time I went to that Cherrywood Coffee House up there? You know that place?
Mm-hmm.
I went there. Randy used to take guitar lessons right around the corner from there from my buddy that y'all met. And I went in there and I was getting a beer because she didn't want me sitting in her guitar lesson. And
Yeah.
they were playing the Carpenters in there. And I was like, I said to the girl behind the bar as she was giving me the beer, I'm like, oh, nice, the Carpenters. Whose pick is that? Because you can tell it's the kind of place where someone's picking.
Yeah.
My grandpa was in here earlier.
And she goes, this is the last album that my dad gave to me as he was walking out the door. I never saw him again. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, chick.
Usually girls like you listen to My Chemical Romance. Go to that. Where's the Evanescence is usually the result.
Do you ever have that with like? Yeah, I have that at Trader Joe's a lot. 'Cause you know how the Trader
awkward.
They're
Joe's
supposed to
people
talk to you.
Yeah.
have
they
to.
always have to try and have some type of conversation.
Yeah.
Well, one lady started telling me,
I'll try to get them to say weird stuff.
about how she started telling me about how she drove for Uber and then she got in a car wreck and now she has a traumatic brain injury and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, you know,
Is that why you're not bagging
Yeah.
my shit fast enough?
yeah.
You seem like you have a traumatic brain injury.
Resulting in the finger
Did you-
dexterity.
That's what you should say. Yeah, it really seems like it.
Yeah.
Is that why you put my eggs on the bottom, you dumb bitch?
That sounds like I don't know. I'm surprised that happened to you and not to me. That sounds like the kind of thing, like the innocent, like Like, what are the odds? And then that's the reply you get.
Totally. Before that, I had said, "Oh, I'll take the whatever IPA."
IPA is the last beer my dad drank before he beat
Yeah.
my mom up and left.
No matter what, she was going
It's
there.
like our other friend. That reminds me when my husband died.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything goes back
Everything
to
goes
a
back.
clown wrestling with a goat in an inflatable baby pool full of cream
It
corn.
really does. Hey, I did something interesting. Well, something I think is interesting. I workshopped some jokes with ChatGPT, and it was
Both
actually
of y'all were having fun with AI this week.
absolutely incredible. Like what happened. So my hooker joke. I mean, I'm sure at this point everyone's done this joke, but
Stealing.
how you can't rape a hooker, it's stealing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I run the joke by, and I was like, "Hey, I really love like fake sincerity, like setups, and I think Louis' retard joke is like the best example of. I'm like, do you know Louis' retard joke? And it's like, yes, I know Louis' retard joke. It's the one where and it goes through the whole thing and the fake sincerity thing, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, help me capture that voice in this like you can't rape a hooker, it's only stealing, and it like wrote this joke about like capitalism and shit, and I was like, no. I'm not trying to like make a societal statement.
Yeah.
Dude, that's just trying to tear
Like,
the world down.
not in the style of Hannah Gadsby, please.
Yeah. I said no,
Yeah.
not like that. I said like this, and it's like, oh, I understand. You want to punch down, and then
It said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they really do have
Yeah.
all those bitchy women
Yeah,
programming.
yeah. It's like, oh, I understand. You want to punch
all of
down.
the knowledge of the internet.
If you really want to do this, it is seen as unclever, unnuanced.
It's not funny. That's basically ChatGPT went. It's not
Okay.
funny.
Hurt-
That wouldn't be funny.
Awesome. Check.
hurtful and not funny.
Yeah.
Say the bad part.
And I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's that's what I want to do. And then it did it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh fuck, I love this joke now. Like it was really good. It was like, what pisses me off? This is the exact joke. It's like, what pisses me off? That you can get arrested for raping a hooker.
Nice.
and then it goes, it's not like if you dine and dash at Chili's, like you're getting arrested for murder.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty good, right? Like
Parallels.
I was pretty
Drawing a good parallel.
into it. I was like, that's pretty good, but let's go even deeper. And then I just kept pushing it. It was like, oh, I
Something
see.
about skirt lifting and shoplifting.
I was like, I want you to go harder. I'm like, this isn't enough. We need to go like harder. And it was like,
Dark web.
and it was like, oh, I get it. Like you're trying to get people to laugh at you, not with you. And
Okay.
I was like, yeah, sure, that's what I'm going.
Laugh
for.
However, you
laugh.
have to
Yeah.
justify this to your Chat
There's
GPT
no such thing as
woman
bad
sense of
publicity.
humor. Justify it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me
Yeah.
the output.
Right. So anyway, I did it, and I was super, super impressed with the results. And
Yeah.
so then I gave it so I created a project. Have you ever done this? Create a project in ChatGPT. So you can do a thing where you create a project, and the whole project's based around something like jokes or whatever. Mine
Yeah.
was jokes. I gave it every concept of a joke that I've written for the last like 2 years probably. So I took all my notes from my Apple Notes. I dumped it in there. I said, these are all concepts that I have for jokes. None of them in and of themselves is like a full joke or
Yeah.
whatever. But there's things that I might want to refer to. There's things in here that could be funny mixed in with stories. And then I gave it a story, the Black Titties story, which you guys know.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I told it the whole story. I'm like, now write this in terms of a joke, and anything that you can pull in from any of these other things that you
Basically,
think is
do a
projects.
do a
Do a special.
yeah. Give me 10 on this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and it did it. And it was good too. Like it was really, really good. And I was like, but here's the thing. It wasn't like good enough. I had to keep
yeah. You
saying
had
like,
to keep. It's like whenever.
you
It's like
skipped
when
the
you do
hardest part of
anything,
stand-up.
any type of document. With,
Right,
With
right.
it. It's you can get the structure in there, but then you have to go in and make little changes. and
Right.
fix
You
things
skipped the
and-
hardest part of stand-up. You wrote the jokes. They're all in there.
right,
They had arranged it and gave it rhythm,
right.
timing, delivery.
Yes,
You gave it the material.
yes.
You don't have to run the material. You don't have to practice. You don't have to go to open mics. You don't have to go to
yeah.
Poughkeepsie.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of intangibles there. That,
I mean, I think that like the way that it, the story about the kids with the water balloon launcher and they call me a faggot retard and
Yeah.
all that. It wrote that story so well, and then it created this character out of my mom that it wanted to weave into other stories.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit, dude! I was fucking blown away.
You started a joke that made the whole world laugh. Feel like this Batman villain.
We're getting really, really close to making creativity obsolete.
Well,
Like-
but it's like I don't think you could say, "Hey, come up with a good joke like on your own," or like I don't know if you could do that. But
You
if
can make a language model. So what if you fed all of ytmindy.com into a language model?
It's
and
already
made
there.
A person
Yeah,
that
it's-
just speaks, you're the
yeah.
man now, dog.
yeah,
No, if it's on
It's
the
done.
internet, they probably
done.
have it
Just
in
that
there.
section.
Yeah.
So I can
mean-
make that off of realultimatepower.net of my weird ninja site with all the stories and just make a person that responds.
Probably.
Like-
I mean, we're getting pretty close.
Someone who only cares about ninjas and guitars and
We're
pussy.
getting close.
I'm pretty sure that that's doable within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm on Google
That's the
Gemini.
parallel reality.
With my with my phone, I got a year of Gemini for free, and so a friend of mine posted a person on Twitter saying, "I don't get how people just don't like movies. Most of the time when I go see a movie, I just walk out and I'm happy because I've seen a movie." Which sounds a lot like a friend of me and Josh's.
Yeah.
Like I just turn my brain off and watch it, and no matter how stupid and retarded it is, no matter how much worse this Star Trek show is than anything that's ever come before, or this Marvel show,
Right, yeah.
or anything, I just lobotomize myself and enjoy it, and then I get mad at you whenever you tell me that you don't that it
right.
sucks.
You
Right?
raped my childhood, not
Right.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
So I
It was all
decided
you.
I decided to see if I could come up or have AI turn him into a superhero.
Him, like the
Yeah.
lobotomy.
Our friend.
Yeah.
And his name is Captain Lobotomo.
Nice.
And I gave it a
Nice.
very, very basic description of him.
Yeah.
And it put something out that looks a lot like him.
Whoa, that's dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I sent it to this other friend of ours, and he said, he needs to be skinnier. He needs to have more Ozempic body.
Did you then like prompt it with that?
Yeah. So I said skinnier, more
Gaunt.
sunken from Ozempic.
Gaunt,
And
yeah.
then it did one where he looked like his head was cartoonishly big compared to his body.
Yeah, that's
But it started,
Manjaro.
and then I was like, okay, take a picture or generate a picture of a selfie that he did standing outside the movie theater about to go see Captain Marvel, and he has to have his mouth open in the picture. And it did it.
That's amazing.
And that looks a lot like him.
That's cool.
Like just from like my basic description.
Yeah.
Very generic white guy. And so finally I decided to give it the prompt. Generate a picture of him sitting on his couch crying about the patriarchy.
Oh yeah.
And that got like the body type really well. You know.
That's awesome.
How long did that take?
Like
Less than a minute?
yeah, it generated within 45 seconds.
It's like having a modem in the 90s.
Yeah.
Comes down from the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. Except it's like straight from your brain to like
Yeah.
an asset that you can like actually see or send around.
Did
you send that shit to him?
No, that's the friend.
Oh, it's the one you don't talk
yeah,
to.
yeah,
$10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He has to pay me $10,000
Yeah.
before he can. Text
But he
me
doesn't know
again.
that. Do you want
Yeah.
me to tell him the terms?
Anybody could tell that. the next time he says, "Hey,
'Cause
you know,
he's got so much money.
if those
More than
if,
you and me put together, everybody.
like I know that I was the one who threw a huge toddler temper tantrum like a girl and quit everything and ran away.
You made him do that.
So they have to come chase after me like I'm a woman in order for us to
Like
patch
a woman.
things out.
Yeah.
Chris, we missed you last week. We had the Juneteenth Shamecast. And Donnie had a funny emergence of an idea of a chat GPT bit of the fact that Juneteenth is inside of Pride Month. So if they had a Pride parade on Juneteenth, then all the black guys would be like, I'm not with that gay shit. And then the gay people would be like, well, it's Pride Month. And they would be like, well, it's Juneteenth. And it
It'd
could be like a whole who's on first.
Right.
What's on second
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be like two gay guys celebrating their love on Valentine's Day, which is
Yeah.
during Black History Month.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right. Yeah.
It's our month.
Right.
yeah, black and gay are incompatible.
It's
apparently.
totally. Yeah. They really fucked up on this whole Pride Month being June thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I gotta say, the best gay people are black gay.
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
The best lesbians are black
It's a lot of
lesbians.
personality.
The best gay men
Yeah.
are black
One of
guys.
the greatest joke writers
Oh,
of all
yeah.
time is RuPaul.
I
Just
love-
on the fly. So fast. She's burns everybody.
I love
Yeah.
Titus Andromedon from
Titus
Kimmy Schmidt.
Andromedon,
That is the
yeah.
best gay person
Oh,
I've
yeah,
ever been
so
in
good.
my life.
Yeah.
Or I've ever seen in my life.
I don't. My kids. I had a really hard time getting my kids into Kimmy Schmidt. I don't know why. It
Do
felt.
they like 30 Rock?
It's funny. I actually just started watching 30 Rock.
Yeah, 30 Rock's great.
And I was watching it, and Jacob came in. He's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's 30 Rock." And I was on like episode 3, and he's like, "Could I just like jump in?" I'm like, "Just jump in, dude."
Yeah.
And so we've been watching that.
It's so good. It's
Yeah,
so like
it is really good.
it's one of those, that and Arrested Development and The Simpsons are the 3 comedies where I'm like, if you watch it over and over and over, you catch jokes that you
Yeah.
never saw before, never heard of. I mean, because especially with 30 Rock, it is just everything that Jenna and Tracy say
Oh, yeah.
is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is
Yeah.
great. Every single line they have is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
that-
I've been digging it. I've also been watching Parks and Rec, which it's not as good.
It's up there though. It's
It's-
really good.
yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's just weird things that end up happening in like season 3 and 4. Where, like I feel like they kind of nerfed Aubrey
Plaza.
Plaza. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's like she was really kind of like witty and quick, and they just kind of like dumbed her down a lot by season 3.
Yeah, I think maybe it's Chris Pratt. Maybe it's
I think so.
Andy's influence made her dumber.
I think they kind of like turned her into Andy. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're married, and now
Yeah.
she's just basically like an extension of Andy.
I like to imagine that's the first 2 seasons of her was like that's how she is in real life.
I think that is how
She acts
is
like that
in
all
real
the time
life.
anyway. Well,
Yeah.
she's on Conan.
Yeah.
She's a fucking psycho. I would let her ruin my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
She could ruin everything.
Did you ever see Ingrid Goes West?
Yeah.
the movie that she
Yeah,
was
that
in.
was fucking great.
Awesome.
That was a great movie. Yeah. That I saw her on Hot Ones, and same kind of deal where it's like, I mean, she's probably still maybe a persona a little bit, but like, I mean, it seems pretty real.
Yeah.
that whole thing.
I mean, she's always just she's never gonna act her way out of that sarcastic face and tone. Like
Yeah.
even when she does and she is really good at doing like earnest, honest portrayal type stuff.
Yeah.
But she always has that sarcastic, just vibe to her. or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Some chicks have resting bitch face. She has like resting sarcastic face.
Yeah.
Like she just looks like she doesn't. She's like not buying it.
Did you ever watch Legion?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Legion is Noah Hawley. Did you watch the Fargo TV show?
Oh yeah.
So he made basically an X-Men TV show. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
is
I remember that.
Malcolm X-Men.
It's what's his name? Dan Stevens, the guy that played he played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, but like he's been in a bunch of stuff. He is Professor X's son, and he is a mutant that has schizophrenia or multiple personalities, and his powers manifest in all of his personalities. So he's just like he's like almost all powerful, but it's all split up into different personalities.
I see. Yeah.
But the whole thing is like an acid trip. It's a weird,
That's good.
like retro 70s, like anachronistic modern day, but everything looks like the 70s, kind of like acid trip.
Do I have to understand X-Men lore to like?
No,
get
all
into
you
the
have to
show?
know is that there are people who have mutations.
No, there's
in
no
their cells
Easter
that
eggs or
give
winks or
them
nods or
superpowers.
references. It's a
Yeah.
whole new
Yeah.
IP.
That's cool.
Yeah,
IP
you don't
in
have
your
to know. All you have to know is that his dad is the leader of the X-Men, but they don't even really talk about the X-Men in it. It's like because it's almost like he's off in this old like acid trip world or whatever, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we-
so Aubrey Plaza is in it.
Oh, she's in it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why.
That's why I started talking about it, and she plays his a woman who lives, a friend of his in the mental institution.
Oh.
And while he's in the mental institution, his powers get triggered, and she gets trapped. She gets like merged into a wall and dies, but
Spoiler alert.
she doesn't, and she's just there. And she's like becomes one of his personalities that's around and like that shows up like her. She just becomes his Tyler Durden. And then you find out who she really is, and it's a character from the comics, but it's something like you don't have to know anything about X-Men comics for these.
Nice.
She's so good in it. I mean, and at some point it moves off, and then they have to find a way to keep Aubrey Plaza in the show because the thing that she is not her appearance anymore. So they have to so they find a way to keep her in the show, and it's so weird. It's all so weird.
It's like Onslaught,
awesome.
basically. That's what happened with Onslaught.
Yeah,
I'm down. That
Merch
sounds interesting.
It's on FX.
I need to
it's on FX
rewatch
still.
Legion. I haven't watched it in a long
Is it
time.
on Hulu? Is it still on Hulu?
FX.
Yeah.
It was an FX show.
That's probably on Hulu.
So we went on Juneteenth. We went to Kura Revolving Sushi.
I don't think
on
I've been to
airport.
it.
They just there's a.
I know the
Yeah.
type of place. Yeah.
So you can order it and it comes faster. But this black couple came and sat behind us.
Mm.
I guess they were celebrating Juneteenth. I don't know. They had the day off too. It was the middle of the day,
Yeah.
and I sat farthest away from the
Blacks.
where it comes through.
Oh. So,
Whatever. Where
yeah. The conveyor belt thing.
thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The thing like at
Words.
the airport
Yeah.
where the bags go. Moving escalator.
Yeah.
But everything I saw that I wanted, I'd be like, "Can I get one of those?" That with the octopus looks good, and then I'd have the kids like try to pronounce the stuff. I'd be like, "What's that? What does that say?" And they'd say, "Tamayo, whatever, mayonnaise, miso."
Oh.
And, but then a lot of the stuff starts with NIG something,
Yeah.
and then this black couple came and sat behind us.
Oh, this is nigiri.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
every time I saw anything that started with NIG, I was like, "Walter, what's that?" Now say it louder.
I was talking to Chris, the dude from Psych Fest, on the phone the other day, and we were talking about Quebecers, and I said, Quebecers or Quebecers or whatever, and I said it, and he's like, man, you really just got close to
Yeah, you got pretty close.
Quebec.
Some big black lady came up to me.
Quebecers or something like. And he was like, dude, you just like. He's like, you're just pushing the line, like you're just right on it. And I'm like, well, I think Canadians kind of think of Quebecers as the of Canada, so it was,
They are
that kind of makes sense.
They are definitely the Iggers of Canada.
I had a big black woman come up and hug me. And she was like, "I'm sorry, I'm a hugger." And I was like, "You're a hugger?
You're a hugger.
Don't apologize for being a hugger and being black and say it that way.
Oh my God.
Maybe everyone should be a hugger like you."
Right. Yeah.
That's the way around it.
Yeah.
Just don't say the N.
Yeah.
Right.
IGGER. There's so many words
The wonderful
that
thing
end
about
with
Tiggers.
Igger.
Tigger's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I walked through the field, and goddamn if I didn't get bit up by chiggers.
Yeah, by chiggers. Yeah.
I mean, it's always there. There's so many words.
Well, you could also. I think that you could also extend it to aggers, like
Bigger.
the biggest pain in the ass at the store are all the baggers.
Yeah,
Right. Like all them baggers.
I mean, if you have a GGERS, that's
Yeah.
all you need.
Right.
Is the GGERS.
You and mine,
Right.
both of our wives are always complaining about stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Telling us to do stuff.
Yeah.
They're naggers.
They're naggers. Yeah. Goddamn naggers, man. Always getting on my shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of women, Carrie Coon. You know Carrie Coon, the hot lady from Leftovers?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Some article came out about her that she only had 48 hours between finishing filming White Lotus and she had to go start filming the Gilded Age.
Only 48 hours
Yeah.
between
Can you
going
imagine?
to Thailand to...
Can you imagine having to work 3 days after you worked 2 days ago?
I know. It must be really hard for them.
No dudes ever go work the next day every day. It's hard for women. You don't even understand the pain they go through. Matt sent me today this meme about he can understand that Padme died of a broken heart because she built the empire and it collapsed, and her husband's a child killer, and he force choked her into a labor.
Yeah, Chris.
So I could see how she would die.
You don't even know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Zero.
Did you recognize a single name in that entire thing?
No, I have no.
Yeah.
It's Luke and Leia's mom.
Oh, got it.
Do you even?
Okay. I got that. I get that.
Princess
part,
Leia
yes.
and Luke
I
Skywalker.
yes, I got that part. Yeah.
Anyway, she died of a broken heart. That's what the robot said in the movie. But it was because all these things happened because she had gone through so much. It was insurmountable. I was like, yeah, you get your heart broken over and over again.
Yeah.
You got to go to work tomorrow.
Right.
Or you get 48 hours off to fly from Thailand to England and film The Gilded Age.
There's so many days where I've probably already bitched about this, but there's so many days where like I asked Kristen what she's doing today. Like today is a perfect example. We're walking the dog this morning, and I'm like, "What are you doing today?" And she's like, "I don't really know yet, but I'm not feeling good." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. You know, like some days I'm not feeling good either. You know what I do? Go fucking sit at that desk for
Triumph over adversity.
8 to 12 hours and fucking
like a man.
do 6 hours of goddamn Zoom meetings and then take my kids to fucking physical therapy or whatever else goddamn thing we're doing."
I've been talking to some comedians about musical comedy, and I think I want to write a song about Lady Math. If you did it once, that means you do it all the time. Lady Math.
Yeah.
Just the way they conflate stuff and do
Yeah.
them.
Lady math.
I just told you that yesterday means I mentioned it a month ago under my breath. Should have been paying attention, Lady Math. This girl's with a lot of red flags. That means you need to eat, pray, run.
Yeah.
Run away.
Yeah.
Run, you fool, fly. Need that meme for somebody who starts dating a psycho chick.
Yeah, that
Fly,
would be a
you
good.
fool.
That would be a good.
Donnie,
one.
have you started dating any psychos since the last time I've seen you?
No, I haven't even. I barely left my house.
You really?
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me the most about being married,
Yeah.
it's probably a me problem, is when I'm sitting in my room working silently, focusing on what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and a woman walks in and decides to just start word barfing into the air about unrelated to everything. Like my wife was like, "I have a splinter, and it's been there for 3 days and it hasn't come out." And I was like, "Oh, I thought I heard a woman's body has a way of rejecting those things." She got all mad.
His body shut that all down.
Yeah.
Shut that whole thing down.
Yeah.
Well, then why did you just shut that whole thing down?
Just shut it down.
Basically,
Yeah.
I'm trying to say I'm working, I'm focused, I'm doing something, and you just decided to walk in
Right.
here and just bleh, like Trump does this word barf where he just I'm talking and bleh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a woman lived here with Donnie and he was just focused in doing, editing the show or working or whatever, and she just walked into the room and decided, it's time for everyone to listen to me now and what I have to say.
Yeah. What'd you call it? The wife show? Oh, it's time for the
Yeah.
wife show.
You're too ingrained in your old dog new tricks. You would tell her to
Donnie's-
shut the fuck up and she'd leave forever.
Donnie is, I think that he's just had enough life experience now to know that, like, if he doesn't have the kind of woman who's just going to walk in and suck his dick and leave,
Yeah.
then it's not worth the pursuit.
Dude,
No.
so have you watched the movie Companion?
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
I watched it and I was like, she's perfect.
Yeah.
She's a robot.
oh, the robot. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a robot. Now
that movie. I heard about
now,
that.
but the
yeah.
guy Jack Quaid, the Randy, the guy from The Boys, he's Randy. No, not Randy.
Not Randy?
No, the other Quaid. Dennis Quaid's son.
Oh, Dennis Quaid.
He's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
Oh.
I
Okay.
watched it with my wife and daughter, and they're both pissed about how the robot was being treated. And I was like, what if the Xbox did that? Would y'all be mad?
Yeah.
What if the computer started behaving irrationally? We'd fucking turn it off and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing that the guy bought. It's a play fun thing.
Yeah.
It's a computer that he bought for funsies to
Right.
stick his penis in it.
Right.
It should shut up. You should turn it off.
Right.
That's why you paid for the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You control it.
Right.
But the whole movie was about her fighting for her rights as an individual and trying to be seen and felt and heard and live her fucking journey. And it was like, she's murdered somebody and just kill it.
yeah.
Turn it off, throw it out.
It was a really
Yeah.
good movie. And yes, Jack Quaid's a piece of shit. All the
Why?
human
Because he's mad
characters.
because his thing was broken? You do the same thing. You get mad when your shit doesn't work. Turn it off, throw it out, bang it.
Donnie's going to beat that thing with the
Yeah.
broomstick.
I
It's like the fridge.
I don't have my computer murder a Russian guy
He didn't tell
and
it
try
to
and
do that
steal all
either.
his money. The whole thing was. Were you paying attention?
He
the whole thing
changed
was
some
a
of the
plot.
settings so that she murdered.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll forget it.
Yeah. It was a
great
By the
movie.
time
It's
I
good.
see it.
It's a really good movie, but I was like, on the one hand, at first I was like, she's perfect, and then I was like, well, this is kind of weird. This would be weird. I couldn't have a woman like this. And then she started to remind me of the very first girlfriend that I ever had, who was like obsessed. The kind of girl that you probably shouldn't date. You shouldn't give that to her
Right.
because of how
Right.
insanely, pathetically in love she is with you or whatever, and
Yeah.
that you're not with her, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But by the end of it, I was like, maybe I could calibrate her a little bit differently as to where she wasn't.
Yeah.
Because like he can make her
Because
he
it
can make her really
belongs to you
stupid.
because you purchased
And
it.
then
And you
all
own
of her
it.
settings, she has all these settings where like, yeah, you can make her smart and dumb and
Wait,
all
is
that.
it? This is in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're getting close. We're getting close to that. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's probably 5 years out.
Have
at
you ever
this
seen the
point.
movie Robot and Frank?
I don't think so.
So that's another movie where it's Frank Langella and he's old and he's kind of starting to go like senile or dementia. So his son buys him like a little Asimo robot to be his assistant / medical, like just take care of him.
Yeah.
And then it helps. He's a former bank robber. He's a former jewel thief. So he gets it to start helping him plan heists in town. It's really good. But yeah, that's another one where it's like, man, if I just had that thing live with me and do all these things for me, it would handle so many things.
The perfect
Yeah.
girl for Donnie is not a girl.
Yeah.
It's
a
an
robot.
item
That's a robot.
that you own.
It's an
and order
appliance.
around.
Yeah.
We were talking about a dishwasher that washes
Yeah.
dishes. You
Yeah.
hand it over and you fuck it.
yeah.
That's what I should have. But yeah.
Well, so you haven't left the house, so you haven't met a
No.
wife.
Wait,
type
no,
yet.
we went after we recorded with Eric. We went to Lawless. We went to the bar.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty empty. There was nobody there. It was on a Wednesday night.
Wednesday. Yeah.
It was the night before Juneteenth. So
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fun
right.
for me. I like it empty. There was a bunch of other old people there, and they were playing techno. And I was like, "Look around! It's all old people. Change
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Play some fucking Skinner band."
Hey, does that bathroom lost its luster? I remember we went there like the week that it opened, and I went into that bathroom. I was like, "This is the cleanest fucking bar bathroom I've ever seen in my life." It was brand new.
Dude, cocaine off the inside of the toilet.
I mean, I would have eaten a meal off the floor. It was brand fucking new.
yeah.
But like bar bathrooms, they just go downhill so fast. Did you guys take a leak while you were
I
there?
don't know.
Check
Every
out the
fucking time we
bathroom.
go there, it's $100. It's annoying.
Is it expensive?
Like I had 2 drinks. Why is it fucking $100?
Yeah.
Because my wife takes the card and gets other people drinks and gets herself shit, and it's 4 and then 6, and now they're $10 each. I'm
You
like,
know, there
this
could
is a
be
piece of shit bar.
there could be a setting on your wife that
I
you
know,
could
right?
adjust
Yeah.
to make it to
Turn
where
it
she's
down.
like, no
Yeah.
unauthorized purchases.
Yeah.
But everything's usually
Yeah.
good with the wife. It's just when it goes wrong, it's very jarring. Because everything's going along nice. Usually, you know,
Yeah.
you've said a bunch of times on here,
Yeah.
things are going good.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
odd when something odd happens. They want you to be consistent and not bring everybody down or whatever, caustic.
Yeah, caustic douche. Yeah, caustic douche.
But there's usually things go good, and then that's why it's bothersome is when it sticks out like a sore thumb when something, like somebody walking into the room and talking loudly.
I would say that there's like phases.
Yeah,
Like for me, it's like
there's wavelengths.
there'll be like 6 months of like good, like almost like no fighting, no turmoil, everything's chill.
Yeah.
And then there's like 2 weeks of like, what is going on with you? Like, why are you acting like this? What happened to you?
Yeah,
Like I told her the other day, I'm like, 7 years ago, you were having some issues and you always treated me like I was the enemy. And something happened like 6 or 7 years ago and you stopped doing that. And things have been really, really good since then. But every now and again,
It comes back.
it comes back. And you don't see me as someone that is like the ally in whatever thing is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see me as the like part of the
It's
problem.
fucking Disney. Every Disney princess has a mean guy. So they all want that fantasy.
Yeah.
Of the mean Triton that won't let them go out under the sea anymore.
Yeah, something.
They're all being oppressed by this white man.
some
It's
shit.
part of the fantasy.
Except for literally,
They want a beast
I wanna
who's
be
gonna
oppressed,
rip them to
yeah.
pieces. They want a barely contained monster.
Yeah,
We had some.
Maybe she's trying to make the monster come out. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what she wants. Maybe
yeah.
you just need
I
to.
think there is a little bit of that.
Maybe you just need to do
There
a
is
little bit of
that,
little bit of animal
yeah.
stuff. You know.
Show me what
Yeah.
you got.
Yeah.
Shit on the floor.
Hey, I got a question.
Schmoopty.
I got a question for you guys. We were talking about this the other. So, Miranda talked to Kristen's mom. That doesn't happen very often, and they talked about the whole stalker situation. And Kristen's mom was like, "Well, honey, you should get a gun and
Nice. Hell
conceal carry."
Lady Bird
right?
Johnson. I got a little pearl handle in my purse.
Yeah, like that, right? And anyway, we got in this whole conversation about this. I want to know what you guys think about this number. I have the number in my head. I'm curious what you guys think. What percentage of men, like let's just say men in the United States, let's not include savage places like Africa.
Civilized.
Civilized places.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say in America,
So
what
uncivilized.
percentage of men are psychopathic, violent, would hurt you if they could get away with
Oh,
it?
100%. We're all monsters.
Oh, wait, 100% of men?
Apparently.
No. I'm asking you what you think.
If you
So
can't
what-
walk through a parking garage without your fingers, with your keys coming out your fucking fingers, that means all men are apes. And we're all dumb, and you're allowed to say that we're fucking dumb rape idiots.
That
But
needs
we're
to
not
be-
allowed to say that you've ever made one mistake. Women are so powerful, they can do everything in the world except be wrong once.
That needs to be in the song, dude. It needs
Yeah.
to be something about
Lady
the math.
Woo!
The lady math with the statistics, which we have talked about in previous episodes.
Right.
One guy raped, so we're all rapists.
Yeah.
So what,
Yeah.
what percent? What percentage
in
of actual men
in physical male reality? You mean?
in actual reality?
Yeah.
Like
We
you're
need to
out
ask.
on the street,
Yeah.
you sample 100 men.
Ask
How
ChatGPT.
how
This
many
is a
of
project? This
how-
is your next ChatGPT
how many of
project.
them are actually violent?
Okay.
Would get away with really hurting someone if they knew that they could
I'm gonna go.
get away with
I'm
it?
gonna go the pedophile percent. I don't know if you
Okay.
whenever
Yeah.
the Boston Globe did the thing, what the movie Spotlight's about.
Yeah, the Catholic.
It's the second
Church,
week in a
yeah.
row I mentioned the movie Spotlight.
Yeah.
Their like statistical analysis was that 8% of people in the church, of priests or whatever in the church, were pedophiles. I'm going to go with that for overall violent men who would do something like that.
Like if they
So,
could,
yeah.
if they could get away with it, they would do it, kind of thing.
Yes, I'm going to say 8%.
I'm going to say
8%.
0. If
You
you're going to
think
say it's all of them, then I'm going to say it's 0.
No,
and we're going to average it
Are we
out.
going-
I'm asking you what
we're
you
going
actually.
prices
I am
right?
working with what's
Trying
available.
not to go. He's betting $1.
I've never
So-
met
yeah.
one. I don't know one rapist. I know a lot of people.
No, that's
I've been
not
to
true.
college. I've
That's
been
not
across the
true.
world. I
You-
know a lot of people.
you-
Look at my fucking Facebook.
No,
You-
you and I both know people who have groped,
Yeah.
or you know,
Okay.
a girl was passed out.
Yeah, girls
you know?
grope too.
So I'm,
I've given
but
groped
that's
I'm not
not
talking about
That's
chicks.
not.
I'm not talking about chicks. There's a number
No,
for
we
chicks.
know a guy
too.
that
Men,
gropes.
yeah.
We know a guy that gropes, and I've been groped by girls too. Everybody gropes. Everybody poops. Everybody gropes.
So we know somebody who's that, but and what percentage of that? Because I would say that's probably a bigger percentage of guys that would
The
maybe
world is my
stick a finger
Japanese
in the
metro.
passed out girl.
Yeah.
Maybe I would say that's maybe more than 8%.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 8% for the kind of guys who would, I don't even, like maybe jump a jogger, Chandra Levy somebody, like ambush
Yeah.
a jogger
Yeah.
or something.
So
you know,
then
that
you
kind
only
of
need to
stuff.
put one key through
Like,
your fingers, not all
yeah.
4 of them.
If
If it's
you-
8%.
If
Yeah.
you knew that you knew you could get away with it, would you hurt somebody? I'm not actually asking you guys this. I'm
Yeah.
saying what percentage of men would actually do it?
Yeah.
I said 10. I think
Yeah.
it's probably 8, 10.
Yeah.
Something
8 to 10%
like that.
of guys. Yeah.
I think so. I think 1 out of 10 guys, like, given the opportunity, if you're like, hey, you can kill this person and you'll not get in trouble, I guarantee it. Here's-
Also, the person can't deserve it.
Yeah.
right, exactly. No,
So,
no, that's totally different.
You see a hot girl,
yeah,
you know, jogging
yes,
by herself.
right.
And like you were guaranteed that nothing would happen if you decided to
Might as
go
well.
Ted
You're already in
Bundy on
trouble
her
for
or
it.
whatever.
They already think
right?
you're a rapist, so
Right,
go
right.
ahead.
Yeah.
You've already been blamed for all of it.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
Josh,
so
you're
have
not,
some.
I don't think you're like you're on the same wavelength here.
No, I
Like,
think Josh is 8%ing us. He's being one of the 8% guys, justifying.
you're trying
it, I
to put
think.
an
It's
honest-
well, you already think I'm going to do it, so I'm
yeah,
just going to fucking
so-
do it.
Yeah, so,
I might as
You're
well
trying to
fucking
put an
do it.
honest
Jo-
number on it, and
Josh-
there is no honest number.
yes, there is.
Okay, ask ChatGPT then.
Whoa. Wait, just because
How are you going to find out?
Hang on. Just because we can't determine it doesn't mean that there's not a subset
Yeah.
of the population
Okay, so
that would do it.
You can find out how many rapes there have been versus how many dudes there are. And that's the number.
What
That's
about the
not
rapes
true.
that nobody knows about?
That's not true. I think that
And
there's-
what about the rapes that there have been that were fake? That
there's-
didn't happen.
There's
There were false
plenty. There's
accusations.
plenty of guys who don't do it just because they know that they're not going to get away with it,
Yeah.
Honest number doesn't exist.
and they're going to go.
because the people calling out the numbers are liars. They're doing lady math.
Josh,
lady math.
you're playing a different game. Like you're playing a totally different game.
he's playing a piss off his wife game. He's playing a taking
I'm
too much
trying
shit.
to protect
Yeah.
my son from going to jail.
Yeah.
from getting falsely accused of something that he didn't do.
That is the most retarded.
But you're not worried about your daughter?
But he's more in.
Yeah, right. I love that Josh in the whole like rape thing. He's like, I'm way more concerned about my.
What do you think
son.
is more likely to happen? I've never raped anybody, but I've been accused of.
You have not been accused of
malfeasance.
rape.
Not rape, but I've been accused of.
That was the most minor offense. That's like a dumb kid story.
If she could have got me locked up for that.
No, Josh.
Yeah, that's impropriety. Sexual impropriety.
No. Okay, what percentage of chicks here?
That's assault. You could call that assault.
Here we go.
I touched her.
What percentage of chicks would falsely accuse a guy?
I think it's the same percent.
100%.
See, This is how I know. Yeah. This is how I know
they could get away with
how fucked up
they
you
can
are.
all get
This
away
is
with
how I know how fucked up you are. Because
percent.
you're sure that there's a percentage for women who will falsely accuse, but you're completely unsure about a percentage of guys who would actually do it.
The ones who could get away with it would all do it for attention. Women love attention
Wait,
and power and control.
why wouldn't you say that about men?
Sure, 100% of men that could get away with rape. If you could fuck any girl that walked by, you would go do that.
No.
Not non-consensually.
Not unconsensually.
Well, I have penile dryness syndrome. I need saliva.
Yeah.
I've got eczema.
Donnie, you're sitting right by him. Just spit. Just give him a little. Give him a little.
I think my son is more in danger of getting falsely accused than my daughter is of getting actually raped. Yes, in the future, moving forward from now, for the rest of their lives, as the way the world's going now. Yes.
The way the world's going.
Oh, we'll see what the wasteland has in store for all the women. I can tell you that much. When the Raiders come, dude, I've been watching Black Sails. I never watched it.
How's that?
It's on the dark web.
I didn't know, but it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it was Stars, so it's basically like a Showtime, whatever. And
Prices
it's like
are half off at Burlington Coat Factory. It's Black Sails.
Is that what you meant, Donnie? I thought you meant the TV show.
No, I've been showing up to Marshalls and watching all the black people show up when it's
Going to the
on
mailbox,
sale.
dude, and there's coupons
Use a
in the
TJ
mail.
fucking Maxx, dude.
Yeah, is that where black people shop?
I think they shop at all those places that are like, it's like all the designer stuff, but it's discounted.
Yeah.
Except for Off Fifth, because that's still too expensive for.
Black
these
Sails
days-
is right. It's a good show.
One of these days, we're gonna have my my black correspondent on the show call in. My friend Reggie, because I would ask him these questions, and he would give me the answers as best he
would
could.
say 100% of women will falsely accuse someone of rape.
100% of white women, I can tell you that much. Emmett Till.
Yeah, we said civilized women. That was the number.
No, that's my deal with women. I like to make deals and bargains with women, and I'm like, okay, fine. I will accept everything you say about my privilege and the patriarchy and everything if you accept personal responsibility for the death of Emmett Till. Right. I think that every single white woman on earth is personally responsible for the false accusation that got Emmett Till lynched and murdered.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good deal, isn't it?
If we want to
But if you apply lady math
mentally
to 1-to-1,
retarded if like overlays onto everyone, then that's a totally fair game to play. Yes. Yes, sure. If I have to accept being responsible for slavery, then yes, you have to be responsible for Emmett Till.
Do you know any rapistas?
Rapists? Guys who would like do it?
No. Do you know a guy that's raped a woman?
I know a guy who's
50
been
years old.
I know a guy who's been accused of it by a friend.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I wonder which statistic that is. Is that a false accusation statistic, or is that an actual rape that happened?
I've seen this dude do some fucking fucked up shit. So,
maybe. So that's a maybe. That's a hard maybe.
Here's the thing. I think it's
and that's
as
all
likely.
the guys you know, that's one guy. That's not 8%. That's not parallel.
Wait, but I have decision-making power over who I'm friends with. I've met plenty of guys before who I'm like, that guy's a fucking scumbag, and I'm staying away from him.
I don't have decision-making power over who I'm friends with. They hire people that I have to work with them every day for 8 hours. They're pieces of shit. You don't get to make the choice of who you work with.
Josh, have you never seen like a documentary where they're like interviewing people who are close to serial killers, and they're like,
"You seem like a pretty nice guy."
We had no idea. They interview all of his neighbors. He was the nicest guy.
Everybody says, I had no idea, because then they have plausible deniability. Except for that one dumb bitch that's like, I knew all along. I could have told you.
Well, I knew a guy, my friend's dad, when I was a kid, who he seemed pretty cool.
Would you rape that girl?
He seemed pretty nice. If I'm looking at a kid, I'm gonna be
No,
pissed.
she's a fat-titted Italian lady. She's taking a
Oh,
walk.
okay, I see like a 4-year-old kid walking
No.
down the street right
She's
now.
coming. Here she comes.
Okay.
She's a nice piece of pizza pie.
Are you are you asking me?
If you could get away with it, would you chase that woman down and take her pants off?
No,
Okay.
of course not. No, I like
What if you were really horny right now?
no, and especially not her. She's
In my defense, I was really horny right now.
That lady's shirt and
she's-
pants waistline are doing a lot of work.
yeah.
She is not normally shaped like that.
No.
There is a nice giant fupa stuffed down the
Yeah,
bottom of
there's-
those jeans.
There's something going on there
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I knew a guy. He seemed like a pretty nice guy, my buddy's dad, and then he got divorced from his wife and shot and killed my buddy. Put his brother in a wheelchair and shot the other one in the chest
Because he was mad at her.
Because he was mad at her, and he wanted to punish
At least he didn't
her.
rape anyone.
I'm just saying. I knew this guy personally. I was like, yeah, he seems pretty cool. He seems like a pretty nice
I
guy.
had no idea.
Fucking murdered my buddy. It's
Yeah.
like, there's people are capable of some shit.
Yeah, you can snap.
You could snap. Yeah.
I could. You must make Kristen so mad when you argue with her.
You can't make
His
anyone
art-
else do anything. I look that. I looked under their head. I can't make anyone mad. You make
Is
you
this
mad.
is this how you argue with Kristen?
I don't argue with anybody. I'm just saying.
So this
stuff.
kind of shit never happens with her.
We just had this fight today
You had this fight today.
about spousal support. We were watching Better Things, and Pam Adlon has to pay her husband palimony, and it's going to run out. And I was like, yeah, that happens in Hollywood. That one lady kept getting money from her husband because she supported him as he was coming up through Hollywood. And if she hadn't been doing the housework or scrubbing the toilets, he wouldn't have been able to leave and go be in a movie. So she was doing the home support so that he could go get famous.
Yeah.
So she got some of the money later, forever, because she enabled him to go with her home support, cooking meals and everything. He was able to go become a bajillionaire.
Yeah.
Fine. Miss Bezos gets that deal.
Yeah.
She supported him. If there's someone running your house, then you're able to go make money.
Yes.
That's fine.
I don't understand the argument.
She said it was bullshit that the guy was getting it
Well, it's not bullshit.
because the girl was an actor and he was getting spousal support.
Why is that bullshit? That seems totally fair.
She was like, he wasn't watching the kids while she was out acting. I was like, well, if there's two parents and one of them has to go to work, the other one has to stay home. What do you think? He was jerking off the whole time on the kids?
I mean, maybe. That's
Yeah, spousal support and alimony, according to their rules, should only ever go to women.
Mm-hmm.
That's how does that work out? That works out to some girl math.
That's funny
Lady
because
math.
I know a guy who got palimony
Hell yeah, dude.
because the wife who
Only 8% of guys get palimony.
yeah
Same thing.
yeah. Guess what? There's a very interesting overlap
Yeah.
of these groups.
The spectrum.
Yeah, so I
maybe
know a
if you
guy.
could take that 8% and give it also to the other 8%, there would be maybe 6% of psychopathic
Right,
murderers.
yeah,
You know, maybe.
Yeah, this guy, his wife was big deal at Blizzard, and they got divorced, and she ended up having to pay him. And me and Kristen talked about it, and we were both like, yeah, fuck yeah, of course. Like,
Yeah.
But she only ever made 75% of what he would have made. So that's not fair. The lady should never have
That
to pay.
is that is absolutely lady math. I don't know. You heard all the shit about the
Yeah.
wage gap,
Where
right?
did they get those numbers from?
you mean just
They
in general
surveyed-
about
Yeah.
the wage gap?
Yeah, the wage gap
yeah,
is
yeah.
it's perfectly understandable because
They average out every woman's
kindergarten teachers don't make as much as petroleum engineers.
And
Yeah.
they went to Chris's house and asked his wife how much she made. And
Yeah.
they went to my house and asked my wife how much she made. And both
Yeah.
of them make 0. So they averaged that in with everything and they came up with 75%. Because a bunch of the women they asked said, I don't make any money. Well, I don't do anything.
I would argue that also. I mean, I'm gonna tread on some dangerous fucking territory here because there's people from work who listen to this.
Don't start treading on dangerous territory on this show. We don't do that.
But, well,
Would you rape that girl? Would you rape that girl that's running by my window right now? You'd
was
rape
talking-
her, right? You'd rape that girl.
So what, she wasn't hot enough?
no, yeah, she wasn't hot enough. She wasn't hot enough to
She
rape.
wasn't
No.
asking for it enough.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, dude, there's no guys at my work who are going to go out on paternity leave for fucking 6 months. There are some women who are going to do that. And, you know, again, I am totally in support of that. Like, go out for as long as you need to attend to your family and make sure your kid's good to go and all. Absolutely do that. And women should be able to do that. They should be able to work. But, like,
I don't know what it feels like to experience the miracle of childbirth.
Should there be a little bit of a difference in what the compensation's for?
No. There's not. There's not. The man in the same position, the equal position as the woman who takes the 6 months, makes the same.
Oh, no, I know.
It's
I know.
Yeah, it's the.
I'm saying
it's
that
when you
women should
divide it
make
up.
less,
Yeah,
Donnie.
yeah.
I'm saying no, they should. They should make less. Like, I'm not saying that
Right.
they do make less. I'm saying they should make less.
And it's not a wage gap because the woman who is in this position and the man who is in the same position do not make a different wage.
Right.
They make a different earnings.
Right.
Over the course of it's an earnings gap, not
Right.
a wage gap. That's the problem. Why? And that's part of the playing with the words and all that kind of stuff.
You ready for my most retarded example of this? I worked with this chick at Blizzard, and then she went to work at Apple at a slightly different time than me. She overlapped with me just a little bit at Apple, and she became a whistleblower at Apple because she exposed.
Yeah, you can do that from bed.
She exposed the wage gap. Hey.
I guess that's just for bed now.
Yeah.
Because you said a lot of
Was it-
like
was
not
it-
You said a
working
lot of
and-
women's shit. Yeah,
a lot of
wife
not working and
stuff.
stuff,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Whistle, was it a rape whistle?
Yeah. So she became she was a whistleblower at Apple, talking about wage disparity between men and women. She was in the Washington Post.
Is this the one that whenever they actually
Wow, sounds like
studied
she got
it,
a lot of attention.
and they went in, they're
I
like,
know
fine,
her.
we're going to investigate
I know
this,
her, yes.
and they investigated it, and they went through everything, and they said actually the women are making more than the men.
And
So
do you
you
know
don't
how
know
much?
one rapist, but you know a false
Do
accusation.
you know how? Do you know how
One
much
who makes
she
up fake math?
Do you know how much she made that year? The year that she was blowing the whistle on women not making
75%.
No, she made over 300K that year
Yeah, but you were
and just
making
her
400.
normal position.
in just her normal position.
But you made 400, so she made 75%.
Yeah,
Well, no comment on what I made, but like it's like
Mr. Half a Millies over here is like, 75% of a million. You're still doing all right. Relax, lady. Jesus Christ, what are you on your period?
no, I mean she didn't falsely accuse. She just like made a bunch of
She tattletaled.
dumb
Yeah.
fucking decisions. Like, dude, just stay in your fucking 300K a year job. Keep your
Yeah.
fucking mouth shut. Like, she got fired, and rightfully so, right?
And
Like,
Apple somehow still exists.
Yeah.
NAMBLA still exists. The Catholic Church still has altar boys.
how is
What did you
NAMBLA
think
gone,
was
but
gonna-
Apple's still around? This is fucked, man.
we really are living in a weird future,
living in a-
man.
We're living in a weird time, brother.
Yeah.
My kid is making her own money. She's working. She's actually looking out for my health more than my wife is.
Where's she working?
Just watching dogs next door.
Oh, well,
But I mean, it's dangerous and it's work. You got to go do it every day.
it's true.
So she went out to eat with her friends, and my wife was asking her if she tipped. And I was like, "Do you know how to make 20%? You know how to do the math, lady math?"
Yeah.
She was like, "I just gave her the rest of my money," and I was like, "What? How much? Don't give too much."
Yeah.
It was at Chili's.
She's a,
It's like you realize that we are Jewish.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Hey, do you how seriously do you take making sure she doesn't know, making sure she knows not to falsely accuse? Because you're like on the boys' side, you're like, hey, look, like you could get falsely accused. Do you give her lessons on not falsely accusing?
I want her to falsely accuse every guy that she looks at of rape.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, so they all stay away from her.
Okay,
Don't
you-
make them
that's-
get close to touching anything. She should be falsely accusing everyone that she sees, so nobody
Josh,
ever comes close.
Your worldview is fucking perplexing as fuck to me. Like,
What? It's my world, and my children, and my shit.
in my view,
My wife,
Yeah.
my poop on the toilet.
Yeah.
My rules.
my
Look, it's dog eat dog out there. Where do you draw the line between narcissism and being a fucking animal that has to eat?
yeah, right.
Josh is like, you love me, you hate me, I don't care. Just don't play with me. And then an explosion goes, and an eagle
Yeah.
flies down. That's what it's like inside Josh's head.
Dude, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told my daughter when you're going out to eat, the worst thing to say to the waiter is, "I used to wait tables." Because my
Oh.
wife said that to a server one time, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Please don't ever say that.
Yeah.
when we're out to eat again, because that's like I used to be down where you are,
Yeah.
and now I'm above it, but you're still there.
And here I am.
Now.
You're serving
Yeah.
me.
Here I am making 75% of nothing.
Yeah.
I'm laying in
You
bed.
know,
Being taken out to
75% of yours.
Oh yeah, so there was a plumbing problem. My wife was like, "Oh, I gotta fix the toilet." She was being very. She walked into the room and was loud about it while I was working, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't be everywhere at once. I got to do this work." She's like, "That's part of my job. I'm a plumber now too," and I was like, "Yeah, you're a sex worker too. You get paid."
Right.
Every wife should say that. They go, "Oh, how much would it cost you if you had a personal chef, a child care, a maid, and I do all those things for you? So that's why I get all of your money or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're also doing the whore stuff.
Yeah.
And you're doing plumbing."
Right.
But is a pimp a sex worker? He's in the industry.
Yes.
He works hard.
Yes.
Do
Pimp,
the whores
yes.
make 75% of what the pimp makes?
I think they. Actually, I don't know if I want to get into this with
That'd be
you.
really
I feel
funny.
like me and you are going to disagree vehemently on
It'd
this.
just be funny to see a pimp be like, "As a sex worker, I really work hard. And, my rights are being impinged. Y'all are impinging upon me."
I mean, if you think about it, like pimps got to like slap hoes and they got to slap Johns.
Yeah,
right?
why is
Like,
everybody always trying to refudiate my shit? I love when they
why are
make up words.
trying to repudiate my shit.
They make up words that have nothing to do with
He's
it.
trying to repudiate me.
Y'all need to expedite the pussy.
You come in here fumigating.
Like an NFL guy got hit in the head like 8 times, and then they interview him afterwards, and he's like, "No, the verisimilitude of the quarterbacks was, my head hurts. I gotta go home."
That was like not even hitting the head. What was it? It wasn't Daryl Strawberry. Who was it? Was it Karl Malone? I'm just gonna like name Black Ath. He's like, they say I have tenure. I got more like 20 year at this point. Who was
There you
it?
go.
Who was it?
I'm looking that up. Malone.
I don't think he was Malone. I think he was a baseball player.
Would you in jail? Would you rape?
No, I'm not. Josh, I ain't raping. There's no raping.
So you're not gonna have sex the whole time you're in jail?
I'm gonna have consensual sex.
Okay.
You don't think that there's guys who want to fuck in jail?
You hear the worst thing I could imagine about being in jail is hearing someone get raped all night
No.
because it's the halls.
That's the worst thing you can imagine. Not you getting raped all night.
Well, you got to hear this guy get raped every night or a different guy every night. You don't get to sleep. I'm trying to sleep so I can get raped again tomorrow in the showers like a normal person during daylight hours.
Right. Yeah, the daylight. Right.
So all the guys up and down the hill are like, "Shut up, Tyrone. I'm trying to sleep. Quit saying no and just go along with it and it'll be quiet." So then all the prisoners get Tyrone a Grin and Bear It poster of the cat hanging.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. Yeah. Hang in there. Yeah.
Quit complaining so much
Dude,
about your role.
If I go to jail or prison or whatever, I'm definitely getting a hang in there poster for my wall. And I'm just going to be like, "Look, you can rape me, but just please let me look at this while I'm getting raped."
Now you're gonna have Nasty Nate calendars.
Nasty Nate.
Yeah.
Nasty Nate.
No, Devil Man.
Naughty Jungle of Love.
Chris gets the inspirational teamwork poster with the skier. Why is only one guy raping me? Where's everybody else? It's teamwork.
Well, we are coming to the end of our season.
Are we?
Yeah, this is episode 24.
Whoa.
And I like to do 25 episode seasons. We started this season in quotes way back in like September, October.
We did. I remember that.
Yeah. So
What episode is it total? Are we at 100 yet?
no, we're getting up there. We're getting up like 80s, 90s or something.
We're gonna hug
So,
when we get to 100 because I'm a
We're
hugger.
gonna hug?
yeah, you have to hug. He's
I'm
such
not fucking touching
such
you
a-
before that. I'll hug you.
yeah.
I've been holding in my cum for 20 days.
You've been holding in your cum.
I'm so.
I don't
powerful.
believe it for a fucking minute.
So I can give you a powerful hug.
I don't believe it for a
Takes
fucking
the whole team
minute.
of teamwork.
You've already told me you go 3 days. You're fucking jizzing your pants in bed.
No, I wouldn't mind having a bitch in jail just to do my stuff.
What's your stuff?
A servant person.
Like he's making the license
wants-
plates?
I don't need to rape anybody. I just need my things taken care of.
He wants a jail wife.
I want to enter. Yeah, I
He's
want
so-
someone
he's
to
so
get out of bed
programmed
and
to
do
that.
something.
Honestly, I think if Josh went to, I feel like if Josh went to jail or prison or whatever, I could very quickly see you turning into the leader of the white supremacists.
Like a Diego Luna, like an energetic little Latino guy that's ready to just, yeah, I'll go check your books out from the library. Thanks.
Yeah.
And as payment, I won't rape him. You can make it look like you're my bitch and I'm raping whatever.
Yeah.
Then no one else will rape you and I'll take care of you.
Right.
I just need you to go get my things from the commissary when I don't feel like getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Dude, if I went to jail, I'd never get out of bed. That's why guys go to jail, so they can do lady shit.
Is that like you talk about this getting out of bed thing, like not getting out of bed thing, like it's a good thing. You're like, oh man, I could not get out of bed, or she's so privileged she doesn't have to get out of bed. Like I mean, I don't like being in bed. I like being in bed while I sleep, and then I like being out of bed after that.
I have a lot of weird psychosomatic stuff, and I run hot.
Right.
My body
have
is
you
not
tried,
like your body.
Well, also, have you tried, drinking a case of alcohol multiple nights a week and constantly eating carbohydrates and butter and
she made a cake.
fast food?
I would be
cake.
I would be way more into bed if I was doing that.
I'm just like, there's some other. Again, there's some. I guess you call these intangibles, but there's some other variables.
There's factors.
In play.
There's
factors in play.
Yeah, there's factors.
She made a cake yesterday because we had a friend over. The daughter had a friend over. She made a cake for Father's Day. You came and had some.
Yeah.
Why does there need to always be cake and gravy?
No, there doesn't need to be cake.
Yeah.
It feels like someone's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And get some insurance money.
Yeah. But
you're
maybe that's the season 3 finale.
Yeah.
Maybe Josh kills his wife and goes to jail, and then he has a jail wife. Maybe that's the cliffhanger ending.
Oh man,
I'm gonna stay in bed, and little Diego Luna's gonna do all my shit.
To be continued.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
But
Andor.
seriously, to be continued. We're gonna get on YouTube now. So, bye.
God awful.